Hey all, welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here. Today I want to talk to you about the Intellia equity issue that's been announced recently. I think that this is likely to depress the stock price, but before we proceed, I request that while you watch this video, please consider to like and subscribe as it helps the channel. That said, let's get started. Welcome back. A couple of days ago, Intellia announced that they would raise funds with a round of equity offering, which was totaling around $300 million before deducting costs of administering the offer. So, in effect, after the IPO is successfully executed, Intellia may get slightly less than $300 million. They have priced the shares at 45.8 per share and plan to release 6.5 million shares. Friends, this is equity dilution, and whenever equity dilution happens, the share price falls. Intellia had 848 million as cash and cash equivalents in its balance sheets when they reported in Q3 2022. And let's not forget that as of March 2022, Intellia Therapeutics had 71.8 million in debt. That's not much considering their cash balance. Now let's dwell a little bit deeper to understand the compulsion to raise funds. Intellia got a big boost when NTLA 2001 proof of concept was established, and over a period of time that excitement has died down. Along with that, the share price has fallen because the trajectory of FDA approval indicates that it will be another 4 to 5 years before the therapy can be approved and monetized. Intellia seems to be ahead of most companies in implementing the in vivo approach, which is a big asset for Intellia, but it seems to me that the pace of progress in Intellia with regard to monetization of any of its therapy is pretty slow, and others might soon catch up with it. Intellia might have a cash burn of more than 400 million this year, and given the time horizon for NTLA 2001 to monetize, they may need to raise fresh funds. Apart from NTLA 2001, they have other candidates in the pipeline. Remember, NTLA 2001 is in partnership with Regeneron, and there is a cost sharing and profit sharing. This means that from a cost perspective, they have got some support from Regeneron, but at the same time, when it comes to profits, they have got to share it with Regeneron. So it's a mixed bag out there. Let's take a quick look at their pipeline and see the other candidate that might induce cash burn, and try to get a feel from there on the compulsion for having to come up with an IPO. So here we are in the pipeline section for Intellia. They have two sections. One is the in vivo section, one is the ex vivo. So in the in vivo, we have got NTLA 2001, about which we have already spoken. That's in collaboration with Regeneron. They also have a wholly owned therapy for hereditary angioedema, which is NTLA 2002. That's also in early clinical stage. So both of these have to progress all the way to monetization. For that, you need funds. And then we have a whole bunch of in vivo therapies which are in the enabling stage, which is NTLA 2003, NTLA 3001, and therapy for hemophilia B. So these three are here. As we already saw a couple of days ago, I released a video about a company called CSL, which has already released approved gene therapy for hemophilia B. So I think Intellia is still in the enabling stage out here, whereas the market share is being taken up by a company. And by the time that Intellia comes and finishes off getting approval from FDA and monetizing hemophilia B, CSL will be well established in the field. And potentially there may be other competitors as well. So we do not know. So in a nutshell, I think that Intellia is very slow in making its progress. I know that these are all complicated therapies, but I think they need to pick up their speed in order to retain their share value. And when it comes to ex vivo, we have a candidate for sickle cell disease in collaboration with Novartis. So of course the cost and profits will be shared out here. But Zynteglo is already there in sickle cell disease. And also we have CRISPR Therapeutics in very advanced stage in clinical trials. They have already published milestones, and they may monetize next year. So again, out here, it seems to me that Intellia is behind the curve. And then they have another one for acute myeloid leukemia, NTLA 5001, in early stage clinical trial. Apart from that, there's a whole bunch of other therapies in the end enabling and pre-end enabling stage, like discovery. So Overall, it seems to me that this huge pipeline and everything needs to be kept moving forward. So the option for Intellia is either to put some of these in the back burner and just focus on what they have, or continue to generate new prospects, in which case they would need more money. And that is where I think there is the compulsion to raise funds. And as you saw, with such a broad pipeline, it's essential to have adequate funding in place, especially in the high interest environment. This is not the best of the times to come up with an IPO, in my opinion, but the conditions are slightly improving as the Fed turns dovish. Nevertheless, considering the time horizon for monetization, I think the share price will feel downward pressure, and the possibility of future equity dilution a couple of years down the line cannot be ruled out. Please let me know what you think about my projections out here. That's all for now with regard to Intellia, and I'll come back again later on with more videos as I get more information. I'm very curious to hear from you and get your opinions. Please put it down in the comments below. That's all for now. Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.